Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. You already know the drill. Newest chapter means new review from the best Blue Lock channel on YouTube. Please make sure to subscribe. Please leave a like already. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any notification. Now, let's get started. Since Baru has hijacked Ubers, he is not free to act as he sees fit, while the whole team has to adapt by finding a pattern that can work given the situation. In this chapter, we see that quite clearly. Up until now, Baru was free of defensive duties and had to stay up front. Now, he's pressing like a madman. He tried to press Kaiser, then Ness, and later on we saw him pressing Hiori. This reminds me pretty much of how Chigiri was hounding whoever was on the ball during the 4v4 following Isagi's instructions. Baru is bound to get tired by this, but I believe he has enough stamina so that the defensive effort will not affect his offensive effectiveness. The issue I have with this new Uber side, however, is that the likelihood of them making a mistake is higher. They have been used to following patterns to the T, which means their flexibility is close to zero. Only players with the egoistical mindset like Nico, Aiku and Aryu could potentially adapt quickly. As for the rest, I wonder whether they won't be the cause of a mistake that will lead to a Bastard München scoring chance. The authors have been making a point not to show sweat marks to indicate that certain players are a cut above the rest. This is just an imagery. There is no way a pro can run around and not sweat. So even though Kaiser is not being shown to break a sweat, it's becoming hard to make a case that he isn't trying hard. This is even supported by the fact that he seems to be rushing, trying to score and end the game ASAP. It's ludicrous to think that him and Ness will break past this Uber's defense when this very same plan hasn't worked this game so far at all. Yet Kaiser went for it again anyway. I mean, the guy knows it better than anyone. As long as Lorenzo is in the picture, chances are very slim. The authors also give us nice cues to see that Kaiser does in fact use his metavision and the predator eye, which hopefully looks similar to what Rin did in the 5v5 ahead of the U20 game. Again, classic Itoshi Rin, the king of using skills before they are even properly introduced. Ness managed to make a pass to Kaiser, who finds himself close to the final third. The German Emperor is baited by Uber's defense as the defense closes his left side, which means Kaiser could only ever aim to the right. Baru has taken over the team and they have to react to both him and what Bastard München is doing. It has worked well so far thanks to Baru communicating like here with Drago or later on with Nico, who didn't skip a beat when Baru went on to press Hiori. Ubers has been reacting well so far, but I cannot shake the thought that a mistake is bound to happen on their side. Have you seen that challenge by Drago on Ness? Man literally has his hand on the little magician. Like, look, is the ref on Uber's payroll or what? I'm joking, but since Bastard München kept possession of the ball, I guess this was again advantage given to Bastard München, similarly to what happened when Aiku took down Noel Noah Assassin's Creed style. Ubers is low-key the team that has shown the most intensity and aggressiveness when it comes to physical challenges. Should I remind you of all the reckless tackles challenges they have made so far? What else can we say, really? Like, the guy deserves every of those 99 evaluation points in defense. Granted, Ubers works as a system and Nico, Aiku, Aryu and don't forget about Perron here all did a good job at blocking Kaiser's shooting courses. So the German Emperor had to aim to his right since Aiku, Perron and Nico were blocking his left. Which means the German Emperor had to aim to his right and Lorenzo was in there waiting. What a monster. The reaction speed to be there to block the Kaiser impact. Simply what you expect from the best U20 defender. His physicality has been on display this whole game. and he hasn't lost a physical duel so far. What else can we say? He's been worth of his next Gen 11 title. He's a beast. Like I already talked about in the video that you can see down the description below, the Predator Eye is more than just aiming and shooting to score a goal. The Predator Eye means that the striker follows a specific strategy or strategies to find a shooting course. Of course, that is predicated on the fact that the striker actually has the skills to pull off the shot. But yeah, just aiming and shooting because you thought that's where you should shoot isn't what Blue Lock qualifies as the Predator Eye. Same way, just scanning the field isn't meta vision. Predator Eye is more than just being in a situation and thinking, where can I shoot, and then finding a course and saying, oh, here you go. Though it requires a level of calmness to do that and being able to see things in slow motion, this still isn't the Predator Eye according to Blue Lock. Although this is something only elite strikers can do already, being able to have the calmness to see things in slow motion, to aim and shoot, it's already elite, but the Predator Eye is a level above that. Predator Eye is all about inputting relevant information according to one strategy or many strategies and processing those information by reflex in order to find a shooting course. It's more than just finding an open shooting course. For example, for Bauru, his strategy is to wait for when the goalkeeper or defenders will lower their guard before taking the shot. For Kaiser, it's all about finding a ball with space where he can aim and thread the needle, and to do so, he has to input many information and process them by reflex, otherwise the shooting course will be erased, and even worse, he can actually lose possession of the ball. By the way, this means that Kaiser has incredible spatial awareness to be able to see ball width spaces at such a high speed of play. You see, Predator Eye and Meta Vision are similar in that the processing of information has to happen by reflex. As a matter of fact, Bauru's use of the Predator Eye is actually a strategy made up of two steps. First, he waits for the moment the goalkeeper or the defenders or both lower their guard, and when he identifies such a moment, Bauru finds a shooting course that can take advantage of the situation. You see, it's more than just aiming and shooting. Bauru has to aim for a shooting course that makes the most advantage out of the situation created when the goalkeeper or the defenders lowered their guards. Earlier in the game, he went for the top corner after making sure that Gagamaru was thrown off. For his second goal, as soon as both Isagi and Kaiser started moving to block his shot and thus creating a narrow space for a double nutmeg, Bauru went for it. You cannot possibly tell me that all of this can be done at a normal speed. Bauru does all of this by reflex, and this is why the Predator Eye is more than just aiming and shooting. Kaiser's strategy is a bit more simple. He simply scans what's in front of him and looks for a ball with space and takes his shot. Just because his strategy seems simple doesn't mean it's easy or easier than the one Bauru uses. Please don't start comparing. Kaiser is already a monster for being able to identify a space which is enough for a ball to go through. This is insane. Like, this is crazy. I am pretty sure down the line we will see other strikers using the Predator Eye even more differently. I have to say, Nico keeps impressing me during this game. The way he coordinates with the defense and simply get the job done. Man blocked Kaiser's shooting course to his left, forcing Kaiser to cut in to his right, which then narrowed the Emperor's options. Later on, when Bauru goes to press Hiori, Nico is the first one to react and this is thanks to his meta vision, and he seems to keep improving during this game. It took this one play for Isagi to have a solid grasp of the new face of Ubers. Isagi knows that Baru is playing for his sake and that Ubers will be forced to adapt to him. This creates noise on the field, and Bastard München has to think 2 steps ahead, which means it's not just about reacting to whatever Uber does anymore, but now Bastard München has to factor in Baru, what he can do, and then speculate on how Ubers will react to that. This makes it incredibly harder to predict the state of the field. When Kaiser went for the shot, peep what Isagi said. He had clearly foreseen the high likelihood that Kaiser's attempt will be stopped. This is why he is already making a plan on what to do with the loose ball while Kaiser is still in disbelief. My MC is already using the protagonist fielding piece in his meta vision to read the field. He knows that Baru has the green light to play for his sake. Now, same way he knows that Kaiser wants to score not only to win the game, but also to win their goal scoring bet. So of course, Kaiser will rush a bit and be a tiny bit reckless, as shown how he even ignored Grim. Isagi's meta vision is really superior thanks to his already impressive IQ, the fact that he's immersed in a real challenge, and now he's unlocked the protagonist piece since last game. So expect Isagi to read the field ahead of people quite consistently. Also, has Isagi's range improved? As the ball was deflected by Lorenzo, Isagi is seen thinking about his next course of action, and he thinks he can use his direct shot. Except where the ball will land is a bit farther away from the penalty area, and we haven't seen Isagi take a shot from this far before. Has he improved his range? This could be interesting. Kaiser ignored Grim in this chapter, and I believe this is a foreshadowing of him not being the king of the team soon. Up to now, Kaiser has always relied on his lieutenants to do the job and lay it down on a plate for him. But now he absolutely wants to win the goal scoring contest, so much so that he ignores his teammate and the options he could provide. Is this the last breath of the German kingdom within Bastard München before the egoists overtake the team? While Kaiser has found a worthy opponent in Lorenzo, Isagi has found one in Aiku. Each is matched up against an opponent strong enough so that they can get immersed in a challenge. As you can see, when the ball is deflected, Isagi is next to Perron while Kurigami is next to Aryu. Yet, out of all of them, Isagi is the first one to react to the loose ball and is headed where it will land, except Aiku could see the same thing and heads the ball in the direction of Abdi down the left side of the defense, which is the right side of the Bastard München attack, which is exactly where Hiori should be as well. Hiori has always tried to play the football he wanted. As a kid, that was playing with his friends, but he stopped doing that because of his parents. Now, free from that thanks to a fire in him being lighted up by Isagi, like I explained in my Hiori video, check the description below, Hiori is now able to discover, or dare I say, to rediscover what he really wants. The type of football he wants to play. He wants to play a high intensity game where everyone on the field is a monster in his own right. This is what fires him up, but he can only see it now because he has been motivated by Isagi and has now started again to fall in love with the sport. Seeing Isagi and being impressed by him allowed Hiori to detach a bit from the shackles of his parents. Hiori has been admiring Isagi this whole time. He is actually shook at the current state of the field, which is currently a battlefield with monsters everywhere. Yet Isagi is trying to assert himself with goals in all of that. Hiori is in awe. he is now more than ever understanding what type of monsters Kaiser and Baru are, and yet Isagi is competing with those guys. It was all fun and game watching from the sideline, but stepping on the field is a different story. My boy is struggling to get into the game, as he should, and as we have seen how he failed to keep possession of the ball, although he reacted quite well and got the ball ahead of Abdi. You see, it's in those little things that you see the difference that reacting by reflex does. We are on the verge of the Hiori awakening, and it's going to be peak fiction.